Here's the problem I have noticed with how-to videos. Hi, my name is Rémi Boudreau, licensed painter, color consultant, owner of Expressions Painting, and founder of Expressions Painting University. Years ago, in fact it was back in 2012, I did a recording series of how a professional would paint a room from start to finish. The intention back then was to offer some small advice to homeowners who might be looking at painting a room for themselves over the weekend and whatnot. So my intention was just to offer a few tips and tricks from a professional's perspective to make things easier for them, right? But over the years, so many people I've noticed on the comments like bad-mouthing a certain technique or things like that and say that's the wrong way, this is how a real pro does it, all sorts of things like that, right? And it just made me realize at some point that there's this polarizing idea throughout the world, really, where there's only this one correct way of doing anything, right? And in fact, it's just completely untrue, right? Depending on where you live in the world, the tools that you have access to, the products that you have access to, the client expectation, the client income, right? How well the economy is in the area, all sorts of factors come into play to the point that something might be done a certain way in one part of the world and completely different in a different way, and that's okay. So when we watch how-to videos, which this is, you know, I'm not going to deny the fact that it's quite practical, right? If you want to learn how to do this or that, it's an easy reference to get some knowledge. But understand that there are more than one way of doing something, right? If you were to watch 20 different painters, they might do things different way, 20 different ways, right? If you talk to an expert in whichever field, they might have a certain way of doing something that would be completely different than another expert in that same industry. And it's not to say that one is right and the other is wrong. Okay, and so with that in mind, I wanted to make an announcement that in most of the techniques and systems that Gino and I have developed over the past 26, 27 years are actually quite different than what most people might be doing out there. And I want to encourage people out there to think differently, not to just do things the way you see a certain expert doing on one way or whatnot. Try to expand your thinking and your way of seeing things so that you can incorporate maybe a little trick from this person, a little trick from this, and then maybe come out with some of your own. So I'll be introducing some new how-to videos, but not how-to, because these videos will be addressing, meant to talk to the various professional painters or homeowners, whereas in the first video series I did, I was just talking to the DIY, right? So my intention was, this is how a pro does it. Not all pros. This is how you paint a wall like a pro, not all pros, right? And so with that in mind, the new video series that I'll be doing here and there, I'm not sure when those videos will be released, but I do have plans for some coming up shortly. It will be here's how we do this or that, right? Here's how we do it. It's not to say it's the only way, but it's how we do it. And the way we do it has served our clients and us quite well over the years. I mean, we have a great reputation. It's almost basically every job we do, every client loves the job, the quality, the efficiency, the customer service. I mean, we have a good thing going right now. And it wouldn't have been possible had we not thought outside the box years ago, instead of just copying the way someone is doing it or believing we're doing it wrong if we're not doing so. Play around with things, encourage yourself to think outside the box and really explore different ways of doing things, because that's where real breakthroughs come, and that's where you can redefine how maybe efficient you can be in certain areas of whatever trade you're talking about. Of course, I'm mainly talking about painting in these videos, but this applies across the board, whoever it is, whatever it is. So if you are a homeowner and would like to know how it is that we do this in our city of Moncton, New Brunswick, Canada, then follow us, subscribe, follow us, or reach out. But if you're a painter around the world, anywhere around the world, subscribe or follow us and have a listen to these ways that we have of doing things. And some you might agree, some you might disagree. Maybe some will inspire you of something that will be slightly different than what we do, but still different than what you had originally planned for yourself. So just embrace new ways of doing things is my point. So hopefully you got video and you'll subscribe and follow, and I'll see you in those upcoming videos.